you got about a good 10 minutes to answer some questions on here?
Sure.
Oh, good. I appreciate that, man. That is absolutely fantastic. Cryptechology, our brother Simon says, beautiful sock. Beautiful sock. Let's get in here some questions. Let's see. Guys had some questions in here. A lot of people said impressive. Ashton, thank you so much for the $20 super chat, showing support. Appreciate the content and knowledge, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Teresa Wade said, guys, get the likes up. Make sure you hit likes on this video because this is the content that many of you need to see. And if you like this sort of content, continue to share it. Share it on all the platforms, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, whatever it is that you need to share it on. Make sure it's shared. Mr. Research says, and thank you so much for the $10 super chat. He says, here is an equal opportunity question. And is Ray hiring just anyone qualified, or is he trying to hire men who look like him and qualified? Indians and Asians hire their people first, regardless of skill set, but BMs, I'm assuming Black Americans or Black men.
If you're watching that video, you'll see there's a African American sitting there. That African American is Ronnie. He's like my personal project now. My goal is to make sure that he becomes a millionaire. That's my goal. My goal, I promise him, if he listens to me, if he follows what I'm doing, what I'm teaching him, he will be a millionaire. He doesn't have to worry about it. All he has to do is stay true to himself, keep studying, he will become a millionaire. So the reason I'm saying that is I would love to find young people, African American, my preferred choice, who would want to contact me and say, look, I don't mind coming to Poland. I don't mind moving. I don't mind learning and make the sacrifice to move. I don't mind making $30,000 right now, next year to double or triple my salary. Because the truth be told, you have to be trained. Yes, you'll get paid, minimal salary, but then within 6 months, you get your first certifications. Within 9 months, you get your F series. Before you know it, I'm looking at say, okay, man, you have two choices. You can take the pay raise, or you can go back to the United States and make 6 figures if you want, because that's the average for cybersecurity. But the goal is you have to be willing to make the sacrifice, come, learn, train, and then spread your wings.
I love it. I love the answer to that. And many of you guys saw that. That was Mr. Ronnie, who is in here, who is the individual that said and introduced me to Ray. He is now in Poland with Ray, getting all this game. And Ronnie is already doing really well for himself, but he's going to be doing even better in life under Mr. Ray's tutelage. So let's move on to another question here. Kev Tech, IT support says, get yourself a nice cup of coffee. I was just in New York City. I got an opportunity to meet brother Kev Tech, IT support, who has a brilliant YouTube channel and is doing some fantastic things on helping individuals get into IT support and IT tech and just tech in general. I had dinner with him on Wednesday, I believe, and got an opportunity to learn a lot about Kev Tech. And Kevin is a brilliant individual. And thank you so much for the $10 super chat, Kevin. Really appreciate that, sir. Let's see. Mr. Research says, yes, Poland will give you space to advance. Very true. Even though socially Poland is very into calling BM. I don't know what that means, but you probably know what that means. MYRZYN. I'm not sure what that means.
Okay. So, all right. So, the Polish people, like I said earlier, they're a monolithic society, right? If you come here in Poland, you're someone of color like myself, yes, you're going to get a lot of looks. When I first came here, it was like, why are they looking, right? But then now I understand it. It's not because they don't like you. It's because there are not so many of us here. So when I go to the gym, I'm working out here. Ronnie and I will go to the gym now. It's like they're looking. It's like, oh, there's two now. right? It's like there was one, now we have two, and they're like, it's not a bad look. It's just that they have never seen it, right? Now, when you showcase your talent, ball game. I have never been in a place in Poland where once they figure out who I am and what I do, where now my color was an issue. Let me give you an example. A year ago, I went to a conference where they invited 60 mayors. It's all for the security thing. 60 mayors come to that conference. There were about 200 people that came. The organizer of that conference, she emailed me. She says, "Are you ready for the presentation?" I said, "Yes." And I was a guest speaker for the conference. And she says, "I cannot wait to see your presentation tomorrow." I replied back, I said, "Why? Is it that good?" She says, "No, you don't understand. We've been doing this for 36 years. We have never had an African American standing talking with us. And when I came, it was time for my presentation. There is not one person in the conference that was not in my room watching, listening, me talking. So here I am, African American. Some of them have never seen a black man before, yet the room was full. It wasn't a bad thing, it was a very good thing. I thought that I was promoting my race. So I can tell you now where I am in Poland, the third largest city in Poland, Warsaw. The black people you will see, they're people that are studying medicine, right? They've invited doctors from Africa or students from Africa that want to study medicine. They come here to the universities to study. You don't find too many of us here. So when you see some of us here, they're surprised. They're looking. It's not because they don't like us, it's because they have never seen our kind. They only see us on TV, right?
Yeah.
So that's why.
And that's not the accurate picture that they show on TV the majority of the times either.
Exactly. No, I can say that when I first came here, I was a little bit afraid. I'm like, am I making the right decision? Am I investing my money in the right place? Now I can tell you that I'm very, very happy I made that decision.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Let's see. Annika says something. I don't think this is related to the topic today, but it said it would be really helpful if you can make a video on interviewing and hiring process in big tech at the MIS program. I made that already, Annika. You just have to go back into the catalog of the Black Tights YouTube MIS videos, and you will be able to see how I talk about the hiring process in general, not just for big tech companies, because there's many big tech companies that exist out there, and different practices for different people, but there's a fundamental hiring process or interview process that I talk about in a few of my videos. So you see that there. Annika also said, how is the hiring process different in startups and already big tech in the US? And how is the same for the business side roles? I addressed that as well in some of my videos as well too, Annika. Or, and one of the things that you can do too is to book a coach session with myself. We can talk about that. Annika has another question. As mentioned about the nuclear and manufacturing, what do you suggest one could start a job role in the manufacturing sector? Manufacturing sector, nuclear. If you think about that, you can become a business analyst. That's a good place to start, right? Business analyst roles, data analyst roles, all are needed for manufacturing. I'm in the supply chain industry who works very closely with manufacturers, and business analysts are the people who help us within implementing the software for the manufacturing side, or data analysts. Financial analysts would be fantastic as well too, like Ronnie was. He started his career. That's another area that you can actually look into as well too, Annika. Noah says, great, insightful interview this morning. I appreciate that, Brother Noah. Brother Noah's in the DC area doing some wonderful things. Work Your Land says, does Mr. Ray have a degree in tech?
Yes. I have a master's in cybersecurity. I'm also a ethical hacker, certified ethical hacker. So I also have gone through an intensive training for cybersecurity at University of Miami. I have multiple certifications. And I have a master's in finance. So I have multiple masters and undergrads. So
very good, very good, very good. Anthony, and this is a little bit further into that path. What degrees or certifications do you recommend to build a solid path in cybersecurity?
Okay, so now let's get technicals, right? So if you really want to be a well thought after cybersecurity specialist, you need to first of all get a certification in in a Security Plus. So CompTIA offers Security Plus, so that's where you need to start. Secondly, you need to get your certification for Network Plus. These are the two main ones I strongly recommend you have into in your profile. The third thing you need to do, and it's all about certification in this game, you need to go to an organization called ISACA, ISACA, ISACA.org. You need to get yourself compliance certification. You need to be very well versed on how to manage IT, information technology. You need to know this, right? So if you can get these three things done and you have a very clean background, you are going to be making a lot of money in the DC area.
So Security Plus,
Network Plus,
and Simon said this Network Plus, and an ISACA. How do you spell ISACA? I want to make sure I dropped it in the chat.
ISACA.org.
ISACA.org. Got it.
Yeah.
There we go.
That organization is the organization that provides certification for auditors, governance. You need to be very well versed in governance if you want to get anywhere in the United States and make a lot of money in cybersecurity.
Love it. Joshua Y says, Black Heights, could you ask Mr. Ray if it's beneficial to work for the government as a data analyst? If so, why?
Yeah, so if you go to DoD or the government in general and you work as a data analyst, and again, when you get a job in the federal sector, you get in, you're lucky to get in, and you're getting as a data analyst, which is a very good position. The next thing that I would do to well position yourself, get your certifications, right? You have to decide where you want to go, because in the federal sector, the way to move forward is to continue to improve your education, continue to hone your craft and get better at it, and get those certifications. If there's a certification to be offered in your field, get it.
Love it. All right, we answered that one. Kev Tech says you have to make sacrifice if you want to grow. That can mean studying, leveling up, or something else. Absolutely. Noah Page says, I would love to go to Poland for that.
Well, listen, there's only one problem that we're facing right now. Because of the war in Ukraine and Russia, we had about 35 million people in Poland about 4 months ago. Now we have 38 million people. Let me translate that to you, right? So which means that there are no apartments, no hotel rooms. Everything is gone. Matter of fact, to share a personal story, Ronnie is actually sharing my apartment with me because I have no place to put him. All the corporate housings are gone.
Yep.
So we're hoping in a couple of months here, if everything were to be to die down over there in Ukraine, and people start heading back to their country, the people that are here, they don't want to stay here. They want to go back to Ukraine to build back their country. So then that's going to release some of the shortage we have in housing. But once that happens, if anyone is very serious about growth in their career and take a chance and take a leap and go international like Ronnie did for a few years, or even 1 year, and get your training on and certification on, and then go back to the United States and make a killing. That's what I would do that in a heartbeat if it were me. But I've already done it.
I love it. Durian Wright says, what is Mr. Ray's contact information? Well, we got gatekeepers for that. I don't know if I don't know if Ray, you want to share anything otherwise.
Yes, anyone can get in touch with me on LinkedIn. So you have my name. You can actually search for me on LinkedIn and you'll find me. And I'll be more than happy to drop that information here, and you can share with the folks.
Awesome, awesome, wonderful. Anthony Aaron says, "Do you have any plans of building a platform online to train future cybersecurity specialists?"
Now, that person, Anthony Arrington, is reading my mind, right? So, yes, yes, sir. We do have the plan to build that. I'm waiting for the project, for the Polish project that I'm part of to start. Once that starts, I think this gentleman is in my head because he may know some information about me, because we are going to be building a cybersecurity platform to train. Remember, I was telling you there will be a shortage, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So not only that, we have the training center. There's already there's already a system architecture developed to build a platform for future cybersecurity specialists where they can be trained online.
Love it.
So, Anthony, good question. You're reading my mind, and you got some intel from me or something.
Connect with him, Anthony. Mr. Ray Sylvain on LinkedIn, guys. Let's look up Ray Sylvain, and you'll be able to find him. I think this is one of the last questions from Cryptechology from Brother Simon. He says, "Ray, would you be willing to have an open conversation with the Patreon members? I represent Decisive Data Systems at VCIO. We offer MSP partnerships for small businesses. Could use some of your wisdom." So I have a Patreon, Ray, that members that are members, and many of the members are online right now. He said, "Would you be open to having a conversation?"
Yes, that's not a problem at all. Sharing my knowledge and what I've learned with others, that's what I'm all about. Especially if it has to do with my people.
Yeah.
so I'm very good with that. This is why I'm here. The reason I'm here is to show you that it can be done. There should be no limitation for what we can achieve, we can accomplish. Building a cybersecurity it's not a easy task. It's a multi-million-dollar project, and you have to be absolutely crazy in the head to do this, because once you build it, there is no turn back, right? You're going to, I know a lot of you know what CapEx is all about. Once you put that CapEx out there, it's gone. You cannot recoup that money. And now your next stage is to build that brand and bring in the clients and educate them on what you're going to be bringing to them in terms of the protection for what's happening in terms of cybersecurity attacks, ransomware, and so on and so forth. So yes, I'm willing to share my knowledge, what I have learned, and partnerships, what have you. I'm all about that.
Good. Well, we, Mr. Ray, we appreciate you, man. I couldn't have imagined the amount of game I could imagine, but there are a lot of takeaways from today's show. And what I would say is that I not only got an opportunity to hear your story before with you and I talking one-on-one, and heard it from Ronnie, this has even impressed and inspired me even more by having this conversation in open public. I appreciate everything that you do for your community. I appreciate everything you do to be a leader, an example in our community. And it just makes me continue to want to push forward, man, to get to,
Yes.
There's levels to this, right? And
Yes.
there's, success, and there's even more success. And there's always going to be an opportunity to learn and grow. And you've just demonstrated that.
Yes. In closing, what I would say to my fellow listeners and whoever's listening and whoever's here with us is that you don't have to be on TV. You don't have to be making noise. You don't have to be on social media and getting those likes to do something important.
That's right.
You can do things that are very important. And here I am I told my mom all the time, who was Haitian, that mom, the Polish government is asking me to review their laws before they put it in play. Right? So they're asking me to review the laws and stuff like. You don't have to make noise to bring a thunder of an impact.
Mm.
And we can do this, and we also need to realize that we have to bring others with us, right? I am willing to share. I'm willing to talk with others. I'm willing to whatever it needs. We need to do to bring our race, our partners, or brothers with us to improve our culture, our race. Because yeah, it was tough for me, but I can tell you, let me share an example with you. It will not be as tough for Ronnie, right? Right now, he's my mentee. He's the only mentee I have. It's not gonna be as tough for him. I told him, just keep your head clean, keep your nose clean, stay out of trouble, study, follow my lead, do the work, learn, and you are going to be more successful than I was by the time I was the age of 40. He's not even 40, right? So I told him, just keep doing that. So what if I were to have another one and another one? I have 5 of them, 10 of them. Now we're making a difference. Now the 10 will multiply. The 10 will have 5 of each, right? For each of them. Now we're going somewhere, right? So you don't have to be Oprah Winfrey to do this.
I love it. Oh, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Ray. Guys, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, audience, for tuning in with us this Saturday morning. And we will see you next time. Ray, thank you so much, sir.
Not a problem. Anytime you need me, Antoine, you can just holler and I'll come.
Absolutely. Appreciate you,
All
sir.
right.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
guys.
much.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And until next time, guys, peace.